Hey everyone, I am here to simply say that I've got a brand new vision for today. In today's video, we'll talk about Seuss Landing, a part of the park with the most colorful branding. I'll tell you some secrets and stories you might not know, like how the land came to be and how sometimes it used to snow. So grab your hats, your cats, and your things, because the latest VincentVision is about to begin. Watch out! So whenever we talk about the history of Islands of Adventure, we've got to start with Cartoon World. This originally was going to be Universal's second theme park here in Orlando. It eventually became Islands of Adventure, but after a lot of changes. A lot of the lands and rides that are now staples here at Islands of Adventure were never going to be part of the original Cartoon World theme park. But there were some things that have remained all the way through. One of them is Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss had always been in the plans for Cartoon World. It wasn't like Marvel Superhero Island, which was originally going to be DC. Universal had always wanted Dr. Seuss to be part of their Fantasyland, their area of the park dedicated to families and small children. And acquiring the rights to use Dr. Seuss was a little bit tricky because of Audrey Geisel. For those who don't know, Audrey Geisel was the widow of the recently passed away Theodore Geisel, aka Dr. Seuss. And before Audrey Geisel took over the Dr. Seuss estate, Theodore Geisel, aka Dr. Seuss, I'm just gonna call him Dr. Seuss for the rest of this video, he never sold the rights to his characters to be used in other ways. He was always focused on his books. So now, with Audrey Geisel in charge, he was a little bit more willing to do that, but it was a very, very hard sell. Steven Spielberg himself actually contacted Audrey Geisel to tell her about how good Universal was in using his characters in their theme parks, and she still wasn't convinced. Universal had to fly Audrey Geisel to Orlando and show her all the different concept art that they had for the land in order for her to trust them to use these characters in their theme park land. And eventually, they did win her over, and we got all of this as a result of it. And in many ways, Audrey Geisel was the original J.K. Rowling for Islands of Adventure, where she was someone that had complete creative control of this land. Anything that got added, anything that got removed, had to be approved by her. And because of that, we got an incredibly faithful, an incredibly colorful, whimsical theme park land here in Seuss Landing. And I want to show you guys some of the really cool secrets and details that make this theme park land as awesome as it is. One of the biggest things you may or may not notice about Seuss Landing when you walk through the park, apart from the extremely bright colors everywhere, is the fact that there are no straight lines here in the land. All the fences, railings, side curb things, I don't know what these things. You know, I don't know what to call these, but this thing here, there's no straight lines. That was done on purpose to make this land feel as close to being inside a Dr. Seuss book as possible. Even the buildings. You're probably wondering, how do you make a building like that? Well, what you do is you use a lot of styrofoam. All of the buildings here in Seuss Landing were designed with big, heavy blocks of styrofoam that were cut into the shapes that they wanted, and then layers of cement were poured over them. I would have loved to have seen what this place looked like as it was getting built. I could just imagine a bunch of styrofoam snow everywhere. And I mean the trees! Not the truffula trees, the real trees. How do you find plants that fit right into your whimsical storybook theme park land? Well, you get them from Hurricane Andrew. You may or may not have noticed these palm trees down on the Swalkway here in Seuss Landing, but these guys were not bent out of shape on purpose. They're actually from a plant nursery in South Florida that were bent out of shape by the extremely strong winds of Hurricane Andrew many, many years ago. Universal was looking for the right type of foliage for this area of the park, and they stumbled upon these, and they had to have them. So next time you're walking through Seuss Landing, be on the lookout for these very, very tall palm trees. A lot of you guys might know this area here is the shortcut in Seuss Landing that you can use in the morning to get to Hagrid's motorbike adventure a little faster. But this is actually the Zax Bypass and holds one of the more interesting legends and tall tales of this land. The statue that you see passing by is of the north-going and the south-going Zax. In the Dr. Seuss story, these two guys meet in the middle, and they're both so stubborn that they refuse to move for each other, that the whole world moves on and grows without them as they stand there bickering and trying to figure out who's gonna let who pass. In order to make this land feel as faithful to the stories it is representing, legend has it that they actually put those two statues there and built all of the Dr. Seuss land around them. Considering the amount of love and attention Universal puts in making their theme park lands, I wouldn't be surprised if that was true, and it's a pretty cool story. The main street that you walk down in Seuss Landing is actually called Mulberry Street, which is a reference to the very first book that Dr. Seuss published, and to think I saw it on Mulberry Street. On this street as well, very close to the Mulberry Street sign, is actually the only place that you can find the actual Theodore Geisel, Dr. Seuss referenced here in the park. There's a really fun photo op with a police officer on a motorbike. If you look up at the grandstands, the gentleman on the left-hand side with the white beard and the thick black glasses, that's Dr. Seuss. That is Theodore Geisel here in the park. Getting a great view of the main street, getting to watch all the people enjoy this really awesome area of Islands Adventure. One of my favorite little details here in Seuss Landing is actually this window right here. Not much happens with it unless the Sky Trolley is passing by on the track over here. When it does, it goes in through here, shows up in this window very, very tiny, and then pops out of the track over here. It is a super, super cool detail. Totally blink if you miss it. So be on the lookout next time the Seuss Trolley train is passing by. You can see that pass by. Such a cool little effect. One of the more fun photo ops you can actually find here in the park is tucked away in the outdoor courtyard for the Cat in the Hat gift shop. It's actually a big ol' egg, and it's from Horton Hatches an Egg. You can sit up on there, take a fun little picture, but if you are going to go take a picture at that egg, you have to go through this little small entryway here, okay? I don't make the rules. You just gotta do it. Another extremely popular photo op here are the truffula trees that come from the Lorax story. You could actually walk up to those truffula trees. There's a small little path that walks you by the Lorax's house. And you can actually put your ear by those little foam things, I don't know what to call them either. You can actually hear the story of the Lorax. So here in Seuss Landing, and really all around Islands of Adventure, there are tons of stores to get really great gifts, and Seuss Landing is no exception. This is where you can get your Grinch gear, your Cat in the Hat hats, but I've got an even better gift idea for you. How about a Dr. Seuss book from Seuss Landing? You can do that at the All the Books You Can Read gift shop. They actually sell the Dr. Seuss books there. It's also got like benches and places to sit. This is a really great area to get a nice AC break, especially if you've got little ones. A really great gift idea is to buy one of those Dr. Seuss books, meet the Dr. Seuss characters, and have them sign it. How cool is that? Yeah, I came up with that original idea. By the way, you can thank me for that if you're looking to get a Dr. Seuss fan the perfect gift here at Islands of Adventure. So you might not know where I am right now, but I'm actually still here in Seuss Landing. I am tucked away in a little hidden corner of the park right behind the exit of One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish. For those of you who are big fans of Defunct park history like I am, you should know that back here in Seuss Landing, they actually used to have a whole bunch of different shows that would happen on this stage. They have since moved those performances to the main walkway of Seuss Landing so people would actually see it. You used to be able to go back here and catch a show. This also was used for something very cool that I vividly remember from my childhood. But back when Grinchmas was first starting out here at Islands of Adventure, this whole back area used to be Mount Crumpit, and they had something called the Mount Crumpit Snow Plummit. They had a ice slide where you would get on a toboggan and you would go down a big ice slide here in Florida, and it was so cool. They had an ice play area as well where they had a bunch of snow. Grinchmas used to be completely different when Islands of Adventure first opened up. I remember they used to have the show out in the streets. You didn't go down into the sound stages to see it. And even the Grinch used to go around Seuss Landing terrorizing the Who's and the guests visiting the area of the park. It was so, so cool. I get why the Grinch doesn't come out anymore. He's like way too popular to just like walk around the theme park land. But it was a really cool memory to have coming here as a kid. How can I talk about Seuss Landing without talking about green eggs and ham? And yes, you can actually eat green eggs and ham here in Seuss Landing, though it might be in a way you might not expect. The only way to get green eggs and ham here at Universal is here at the Green Eggs and Ham, Tater Tots, and Who Hash food booth. Now, you're probably wondering, are green eggs and ham like any good? Well, we're gonna find out. Let's go get some green eggs and ham. Now, it has actually been years since I've had the green eggs and ham. I remember when this place first opened up, it was like literal green eggs and ham. There they are. Nice and green. It's the eggs that are green, not the ham. The green eggs mixed with the ham and the cheese make it a nice, savory, gooey with the tater tots. Makes a little crunchy. It's very nice, very nice. I'm happy to say they taste like regular eggs and not like green eggs. And that, my friends, is all I've got. I really hope you like this video a lot. Okay, I didn't come up with a closing rhyme, but thank you guys for watching. That is all I've got for today's video. I hope you enjoyed the secrets and stories of Seuss Landing. Do you know any fun facts or history about this land? Please leave a comment down below. Tell the others. These theme parks are loaded with tons of great stories that need to be told and people should know about. In this video, I showed you some of my favorites, and I hope you got to learn something you didn't know about this place before. So thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna get on out of here. I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye.